Sure, sure, sure.
Let's try that again. Go ahead and speak.
Are we here? Are we here yet?
Let me shift the audio over here.
Test two.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
I'm
See
going
here,
to switch
photo.
you on and
How do I get to my, well, you know,
Ready?
I actually want to take a photo. Okay, I want to take this and,
ready to run.
am I ready to run?
You ready to come on?
Yeah, I can't get a good picture. It's just,
There you go. Yeah.
are we on?
Hold on, let me-
Okay, what?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, well, we're on. It's Udicci Updates. And so, yeah, we're here. And we're trying to figure out everything that we're doing on Udicci Updates. But tonight's episode of Udicci Updates is called 500,000 to 50 million. Okay, it's kind of fun. Actually, it's something that we are actually going to pursue, and we're going to invite everybody to tag along and watch what it is that we're doing, and we'll be talking about that just shortly. And then we can even maybe talk a little bit about the, let's say, 100,000 to a million. Just keep throwing out some numbers out there and figure out what people want. And how about the first 50 to 100,000? That could be a fun topic for tonight. Maybe we should have just called tonight's topic numbers or something. And I have, by the way, do I look okay? I mean, is the hair?
You look okay. You're
the hair,
sounding okay.
The hair is okay, and the
Can
sound.
hear you.
Cause yeah, the sound isn't.
Sounds like you might be able to turn it up a little bit. But
Good. Turn the light up a little bit more. So, if you've tuned in at all, or if this is your first time, welcome to Udicci.TV, and we are now going through Udicci Updates. This is the part of the week each Thursday where Tim and I kind of sit alone in our studio and we wait for people to show up. And while we do that, sometimes we eat, sometimes we don't, sometimes we work. But at this time, we just kind of share what's going on. And again, we never know where you picked up in the series. If you started back at the beginning, well, that was a really big story, but that started a few years ago, at least the actual production of it. And it's kind of started through a series of happenings. Last year we began this whole thing in the basement of Blue Bar and Grill and had a great turnout out there, and see what they're doing out there right now. Have you been out to Blue yet?
no.
You got to get out for their new patio. You got to get out for the new patio. If you've not been out to Blue Bar and Grill and you've not been to the patio, it's a new place. The place, it's happening. It's on. They got it. Go. So yeah, last year we started at we started doing this at the basement of Blue Bar and Grill, and we kind of started growing, and they were growing, and everything was happy. So we got this new studio this year, and all of this is to kind of support this whole story that's going to unravel over the next roughly 6 to 18 to 24 months, whatever it is, and we're inviting people to watch it play out in front of you. Basically, we are trying to be to the best that two men can be a reality business, right? I mean, you see all these kind of things that go on in these reality TV shows, and we're sitting here going, come along with us. And we're actually going to begin, we share what's happening in the business, where it is that we're going, and in doing so, hoping that we find some small businesses that can, we can help along the way, and we've already got a few of those with us already, and we're starting to see effects of the branding that we're teaching in that aspect and some real excitement. We should get Allie over here and talk about her branding. We should get Allie over here and wait, what time do we go to break? You can't leave me because I'll have no clue where we are. Are we?
We're past due, I think.
We're past due for a break already?
We didn't review this.
We didn't review this.
35. Actually, we're right on time.
We're right on time. So that means we're going to a break, and we're going to try to pull Allie over here, and then we'll talk from there.
Oh crap. I'm sorry.
And that's me going slowly into sponsor break. This Back now then?
Yep.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, and we're back, and it was nothing but rejection. I went over there, I'm like, can you come tell everybody about how cool this is? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. All right, not kidding. She's actually very excited about something that she's working on right now that kind of was sparked about some conversation we were having, and she's trying to get the next little thing printed off before she comes over here because they're trying to figure it all out. So we'll see if she gets here before 7 o'clock, and if she does, we'll bring Allie on. So with that, so what does our show look like? It's 6. We got about what?
So
We have some sort of format we're supposed to follow.
6:42. End by 6:42. Media chatter. Identify one or two social media pieces relevant to current conversation.
That's a great one. So you know what?
So
A great.
You're supposed to be talking about the other stuff, right?
Well, there's a great piece of media which we don't have ready, but it is that it's the one about the company that just got $3 million, and they were trying to write the software, if you will, to compete in the transaction world. And I had shared that with you a couple of weeks ago, but it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
What that media was, and we did have it ready for tonight, was basically. Right now, we are in a time of what's, let's call the buzzword, right? Disruptive technologies. And it's just a time when technology literally goes in and can just change the way that things are being done. One of the biggest changes that we're going to see is, so one of the biggest things that we need to actually do here is, okay, so sorry about that. So one of the biggest industries that is currently recognizing that it's about to be drastically changed by technology is actually the financial transactions industry. And there was a company recently that was just funded for $3 million on a means of kind of helping send money around the country, around the world. And it's interesting because many of us are just kind of sitting out there in YouTube land that don't really follow this kind of stuff. Like, what do you mean send money? We've got PayPal for that. It's like, yes, you do. We have PayPal. But you know how a business basically pays 1 to 2 or 3% plus a 25-cent transaction fee? Well, that's because there's so many layers of people between the person sending the money and the person receiving the money. Doesn't seem like it should be that hard of a thing to like, oh, wait, I can text you. Why can't I just get money from you? But it does, because you and I don't really handle money, and there's got to be a bank, and there's got to be a network, and that network has to be able to be connected to a whole bunch of people, like all those different retailers out there. And then there's got to be those middlemen that go and get all the retailers. So there's all of these people whose hands go in the pot. So every time you go and kind of use your credit card somewhere or your debit card somewhere, you walk into your grocery store, you swipe your card. Somebody had to set that grocery store up on the credit card. That credit card goes to their processor. That processor goes to a bank. That bank goes to another bank. That bank goes to who? So there's all these, middle people, the Visas of the world, the MasterCards of the world. Well, there's something called financial disintermediation, and that is the idea that we actually take out all of those middlemen and we just start replacing it with technology that we currently have available that we didn't have available when this, the existing system started up. So there is a company that this week, like I said, was funded for like $3 million. I was sharing it with Tim for one purpose primarily. It is that that industry is a $1 trillion industry. Just think about that. It's a $1 trillion industry just to actually transfer money back and forth between people. And why we get excited about that is because that's just one of the things that Udicci is preparing to do. That's just one of the things that our technology was written to accomplish, and that is one of the things that we're doing to strengthen credit unions and helping them become the centers of community commerce. Because when you think about it, when you're in your town and you go to buy something, right, you want that money to stay local. But instead, if that business happens to be banking with XYZ Bank in town, and XYZ Bank is actually owned by a bigger bank out of town, as soon as those funds kind of go into their account, like, sure, they can walk into their branch on Main Street that they live next to, but those funds can be invested anywhere around the world as opposed to right here in the community. So if we can actually go about trying to centralize the money again back to our communities, it can constantly be reinvested, reinvested, reinvested. And that's really what builds economies. For years, money was just being siphoned out, and now we can put it back in. So we're excited to find out that that is a $1 trillion industry because that was one of the industries that we hadn't really valued yet because we hadn't worked to that part of the business plan. And this week it was kind of made clear to us that we could kind of deliver that. What's that?
You're over.
Oh, we're over. That we can kind of deliver the solution to begin doing that in about 2 weeks. And I thought that that's kind of cool to know that we can begin competing in a $1 trillion industry, and we have yet to even go for our first angel round. So when we come back, 500,000 to 50 million. I'm ready to come back, and I'm just kind of waiting for Allie here, and thinking Allie's not going to come over. So, anyways, tonight's show was again it was named 500,000 to 50 million, and what that is it has to do with a new regulation that is now available, or a new opportunity. Let me say it that way. A new opportunity that's now available to small businesses that really was not available up until about 3 weeks ago. I think it was 2012, 2013 timeframe that the Jobs Act was passed by the current administration, House of Representatives. The bill was passed, and in that bill, which was meant to help obviously build jobs in America, there was a provision that allowed small businesses to begin raising capital online. Now, many people are kind of familiar with the GoFundMes of the world, the Kickstarters, where you're doing crowdfunding to actually raise money for a project. And if you've ever done one or participated, you know that typically it comes in like if you donate $1, we'll give you a thank you. If you donate $5, we'll give you a shout out on the website. $10, we'll get you a T-shirt that said "Been there, done that." For $100, you'll get something kind of cool. And for you've got it. We've all seen those kind of categories. But on those campaigns, you could never actually offer ownership in the company. You could never actually offer return on people's investment. So everything was just basically, we're willing to donate this to you and give it to you. And those have been wildly successful. And it really shows the heart of of people, right? That there are some that can sit there and say, I need to raise money for X, and the world comes around and helps them do that. Some of them are, you're helping people raise money for incredible business opportunities, but you can't actually share in the results. I mean, there are some incredible technologies that have been funded through crowdfunding. and they are now out there making a bunch of money, and the people who helped it get off the ground certainly have the gratitude and the appreciation, and hopefully they really get to share in their heart that they helped to see something real happen, but they can't profit. And then there's other ones that are just, you see them very often with bands that are doing them to raise money to kind of do their next CD. It's starting to become sort of the business model that might sort of work in the music industry. It's definitely working for some bands, and some are struggling to see it, but that's where most people will find them. Anyways, so what now exists after what is called the Regulation A+, is the ability for a small business to do a social IPO. And it's initial public offering, if you will, maybe an initial social offering. Actually, even the naming of it right now is kind of out there, but social IPO works, and a small business can actually raise up to $50 million on a social IPO. Now, it takes about a year from what we currently understand from the point that you're able to begin the process until you can actually do the social IPO. And there may actually be a few other alternatives that we might be looking at, which is called a Reg D. But why am I sharing all of this with you? Well, we actually have a business plan that we have been working on for 5 years. It has been our goal to have Udicci become a socially owned company. And it was just 3 weeks ago that that was made possible. So now we're actually going to begin pursuit of that. We had originally thought maybe we'd do like a mutually owned company, like a corporation or otherwise, but with a socially owned company, we're actually going to allow the small investor, the people who might not otherwise have to invest, because with a social IPO, you don't have to go with accredited investors, which is something totally different. But that is, we're going to be pursuing having a social IPO, and we're going to go through our first round of funding to help us actually position ourselves for that social IPO. That first round of funding is going to be $500,000 is what we're currently targeting. And then from there, we're going to go and go for the max, the $50 million. We have the story behind it. We have the markets behind it. We have the technology done. We're not like these other companies that are sitting here saying we have an idea on how to do something. We're the company that's out doing it now. We're actually working in Rochester, New York. We're actually using our technology. We're not a model. We are ready to move. So we wanted to get to this point because we wanted people to see what was possible, because we do work in economic development. And we wanted people to be encouraged that anything that they set their mind to could be done. And this is really just our time to begin sharing the total story of Udicci and how it is we're going to follow capitalistic principles to actually create significant profit, not only for ourselves, but for others around the country, by strengthening nonprofit, member-owned credit unions. There can complete flip, if you will, from the big banks that we're currently seeing have a problem kind of all over the country, and there's a lot of distrust. We can go to member-owned. That means you have an account at the credit union, you're an owner. And these are nonprofit, but they can make revenue. And on the excess revenue, it can be given back to their member owners. So imagine what it would be like that if instead of paying for your banking, each year you got another check, and it was like a tax refund check because you were a member of a credit union who helped your community grow. That's the business model we're going to talk about, and that's how we're going to help people. People watch us go from 0 to 500,000 to 50 million. And we're inviting people along for the ride so that they can learn the entire process all along the way. And we're providing the software for others to do the same. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so, important piece here. So, we're looking at something you're excited about.
Very excited.
Why are you excited about this?
Because it's the real version of the business. It's like, I don't know, it's the visual representation that I've been wanting for years, and it's finally coming to fruition, so.
So what is this holding my hand? It is the new logo, which, all right, bring it up closer. Yeah, just put it onto the camera a little. We'll do this really kind of professional and cool, huh? Yeah, it's like, there we, oh, it's wrong camera. Gotta hold it. Switching cameras now, switching, and there it is.
There it is.
The new, or almost new, and
Almost
yet,
new.
yet polished. It was just a little sneak peek. There it is.
I
So-
thought it was polished, but apparently the printer had other,
Well, we just printed out the wrong thing. So let's talk about this for a little bit.
yeah.
Is this something you've been planning to do? What prompted this?
You?
Okay. See, I told you guys when she wasn't here, that's what it was. No. But it's kind of the branding process, kind of like
This is the branding process. This is something I've wanted for a very long time, but I didn't even know where to begin. I needed help.
And is it tough?
Some of it is tough, some of it is fun. It's very fulfilling though. It's
That's
like
cool.
the feeling I had today, I knew I reached a very different level with the business. Something I've wanted for myself.
That's I
Yeah.
think that's I wish people. That's what I hope for people to feel.
Yeah.
And it's weird because people think I geek
It's
out on like
exciting.
branding. Like, really, you brand functionally sublime.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I've told Tim a couple times, I have so much fun that you're so excited
oh, I
by
know. Your enthusiasm
I just-
propels.
You're just like
The
so excited. I'm like,
creativity.
I love this because it's like it's when it clicks, it begins to click, and that to me is the representation that you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
And we're still working through some language.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get that going.
Mhm.
But also through this process, you've identified new markets,
Yes.
right? Do you want to? Are we gonna leak those yet? Not yet. Okay.
No.
So you've identified new markets.
Yeah.
You've actually begun putting together products to target those markets specifically.
Yes.
We have very kind of straightforward plans to begin helping you into those markets, and they're very achievable.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very natural fit.
Yeah.
It's taking the skill set that I've been crafting and working on for years and just natural talent and just finding the right people to present that to and to enjoy that with, so.
And
Perfect.
it is very exciting to see that. And that's, again, we kind of wanted to share that tonight because we get it's really one of the first visuals that we can take.
Today
and-
was pivotal.
What's that?
It was pivotal.
It was pivotal.
Yes.
I like that.
It was.
You really feel like it was like, got it.
For me, it was, yes.
Nice.
Because I'm very visual myself, so to nail that visual representation of you and your business, that's huge.
It is.
It's huge.
It is.
So now it's like, now that that has been sort of tackled, now all those little steps that I've been wanting, ordering
fill
new
in.
business cards,
Right.
new labels,
Right.
like all those little things that I've been dying to do.
And so many small
Now that can
businesses,
happen.
they're all there like, oh, I want to do this, but I know I need to make a change. They don't know how to make a change. Then
Right.
suddenly they go out and they're like, okay, I'll use the template from XYZ company.
Right.
And there it is, and they get it in and go, yay, but it's not me.
Well, and it works for a while.
Right.
But now I feel a real sense of ownership. Like
That's
I
phenomenal.
feel a sense of pride, and not haughty pride, but like just like, oh, we're getting there. We're making it happen.
That's exciting. All
We're
right,
reaching the goals.
So we are going to reach the goals.
Yes.
And we are going to have to end this episode. I
okay.
thank you for coming on.
Thank
What
you.
we'd like to do is by next week, have you get us a new image so we can actually like show it then.
Yeah.
We'll do it
Okay.
that way. And
Yeah.
just we'll leave it. Or do you have a verbum thing ready?
We have Verbum coming up, yes.
All right. So actually, we're going to be heading over to verbum. So we'll actually show you since our new logo that we had fun with a little bit today. Think Law and Order meets Dorky Chuck. Do we have it up there?